Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Scrambled Jake's Breakfast Company, voted Knoxville's best breakfast year in, year out. Scrambled Jake's right in Rocky Hill. They combine country classics with modern twists, all featuring farm fresh foods from in the area. And if you need a spot for a banquet or a party or a meeting, then call them about renting out their facility in the evening. They got a special menu that goes with that as well, and it's a great place. Great place to eat, and if you're looking for a place to hold your party, your reception, whatever, it's a great place for that too. ScrambledJakes.com to learn more. Okay, I mentioned this as we went to break. This is the difference between 2003 and 2021. Back then you had the BCS, now you got the 14 playoff. Back then, this was a controversial one. 2003, our first year, LSU and Oklahoma played in the BCS National Championship game while USC was number one in both human polls, but they were left out. So you actually had three that deserved in, okay? This past year, you get a rematch of a game that was played, 3-4 weeks before in terms of Alabama-Georgia. So you do get the 14 playoff. To me, the perfect system has three teams. I don't think you ever need four because you always wind up with blowouts. But you can't just go with two because somebody gets left out like USC. So you're kind of screwed on that front. Look at the difference in bowl games, though. Back then, there were 18 December bowls. This past year, there were 35. 10 January bowls back then, only 6 this year. But part of that was because they played two of those playoff games on New Year's Eve. So normally those would be January, and it would have been 33-8. But anyway, 7 SEC teams invited to bowls in 2003. 13 out of 14 invited this past year, which shows you we're just adding games to bring in mid-level Power 5 teams. Question, is this better as it is or worse? Did you miss the is it better that everybody gets a bowl, everybody gets a trophy, or was it better that there was a little, do you get a bowl or not? Was that kind of fun? I missed some of the under-the-table dealings to get a bowl and you didn't know where you were going, but that was kind of dead by the time we launched anyway. Everybody agree this is better? Can I get anybody to say it was better before?
No.
It's better now.
I do think about half those bowl games should be taken out back and shot.
Well, then don't watch them. But if you want to watch them, watch them.
No, I mean, I don't watch them. But, once again, I think they're terrible bowl games, but no, I don't watch them. So I can take them out
But somebody
back and
does
shoot 'em.
because
They're in a bowl game pool.
they're having
They don't get huge ratings, but they get enough ratings to make money for ESPN.
yeah.
It's better than the cornhole tournament brought to you by Johnsonville that they
Right,
throw if
right.
the football game's not going.
Amen.
You really think so?
I'm talking about ratings, not my interest.
I like the idea of settling on the field with 4 teams. Okay, I know
Yes.
you like 3, but at least you're settling
Well,
on the field.
I'm kidding
And
with 3.
and-
I mean, the
USC got
semifinals are
screwed.
horrible every year.
Okay, so USC should have been able to play. So that part, I don't like the proliferation of bowls, but as Mike said, you don't have to watch them. I get that. But from my perspective also, and even though there's so many bowls, I actually enjoyed going to the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl to watch Tennessee play, and so did the fans.
Well,
They
ahoy,
turned out
boy,
in-
not all of us. Some of us have a Sunday show and we can't go.
I went to
So-
the Music City Bowl this year. Had a great time.
Yeah, I've been to
you
2
go.
of the Music City Bowls, and they were packed, and there was had a good time in that. Tampa, the Outback Bowl, I had a great trip there. I enjoyed that. So there are, you can say there are too many, but if you don't want to watch them, you don't have to. But the fan perspective, I think, has been good.
Chuck and Mike, let me see if I can. Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
I'm just saying also from an athletic director, look at how many more athletic directors have a head coach that won a game that they wouldn't have been able to play. And you tell the fans, boy, we're going to really get them next year. Yeah. It's a
I know an
feel-good.
AD around here who
Yeah.
said that.
Well, you can
Balls
say
are back.
You can say that at the time.
One thing I would say is, let me see if I can spin you on this one. Not that the whole thing's a negative, but I think this is a negative fallout of this. You have created, there's always been the haves and have-nots in college football. The caste system has gotten stronger with the playoff. It is now Oklahoma, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Clemson. They're on their own planet up here, and everybody else is off on a moon wanting to get there. And maybe NIL helps teams get there, but that has been. I don't think people expected the playoff to be the same teams every year the way it has been. You had more variation in the BCS than you did the playoffs.
That's very true. The other thing I didn't like about what I don't like is going on now, I'm not really a fan of rewarding 6-6 teams. There have been some 5 and
Right.
Correct.
7
And-
teams.
And that's
Teams
where
with the
I was
losing record
going.
have
When I
got
was
in, too.
deciding not to watch, That's what I was going with. Was you've had teams with losing records, a 6-6 team, you know, and because of that, is that the reason that Tennessee's non-conference scheduling is so horrible? Because we got to make sure we can get to that bowl game at 6-6. So we're going to bring in at least 3 cupcakes.
Yeah.
And boy, if it turns out a cupcake jumps
Worked
up and
for
bites us,
Kentucky.
that's horrible.
They
It works
consulted
Worked for
Kentucky
Kentucky.
before scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tonight, the role of the curmudgeon is being played by Bob Hahn. All right. Although I agree with you on a lot of this, but I'm still going to allow you to
Well,
be
see, back
on
in the last
curmudgeon
segment,
item.
I
Hey,
meant
when
to say
Vanderbilt starts
fullbacks,
going
too.
to a bowl, you know there's too many bowl games.
All right. Let's bring this back closer to home. We know all of the bad moves Tennessee has made over the last 20 years. It would take 20 years to recount them all. So instead, what was the best move Tennessee has made since we've been on the air in 2003? The single best decision Tennessee has made since 2003, that is next. Coming back on the Sports Center.